bed.
It's hot.
Oh my God. We're going straight into that. Yes. Welcome back, you losers. Come take a seat at the losers table. I hope you brought your lunch because this is a very special episode 6.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the boys have done their makeup and are looking a lot better today. Let me introduce you to Max and Beth. Welcome in.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, we appreciate you being here. Both these lovely ladies are from the Subtly Single podcast. I was like, I'll get there. I should know. I should really know because it's right up my alley. But yes, how are you doing, bro?
Doing good, brother. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good.
That's good to hear. Now, obviously, I know losers are forgetful, so let me just remind you who I am. My name is Josh, and I'm not even supposed to be here today.
You're going to do a Gimp.
Oh, yeah. Wait, where's the Gimp?
What? Yeah.
Oh, no. He wasn't real. I think last episode was a figment of your imagination.
It was. He was CGI'd. He was CGI'd in.
We do have Walter. Just say hello, Walter.
Hi, everyone.
We've put baby in the corner this time. So, yes. Ladies, can you please just tell the audience just a small discussion about what you do?
Yeah.
So our podcast is all about becoming suddenly single, as is in the name. So we share the highs, the lows, the funny stories, the awkward moments about navigating single life in your late 20s. Yeah, that's the gist.
That's us.
And yeah, it's super fun. We always get, we do a lot of polls and stuff with our listeners. We get different advice for the ladies, for the lads. And
Juicy
we just
stories.
Yeah, we want people to feel a bit less alone in the journey because I feel like there's so many people out there who are single, but it's not really something that's talked about all that often.
Particularly at this age, I think.
Yeah. And especially after COVID, like a lot of long relationships ended, I think. So we're kind of in this weird transitional phase. So yeah, if we can open up the conversation and make it feel comfortable for people, then that's the plan.
No, 100%. Like me personally, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm like thriving each week. As soon as, like, I think actually because I was in Melbourne over the weekend, I had the choice because I was flying back, and I was like, yeah, I can listen to ours anytime. And as soon as yours popped up, I gave it a bit of a listen, and I'm all about icks and red flags.
We've got plenty of those. They are an entertaining thing to talk about.
It's just wild. Like myself, I'm in my 30s trying to date, so it does resonate with me a lot trying to navigate the space in such a terrible way.
It's not an easy gig.
It's not easy.
It isn't, because I've just trying to do it now compared to the expectations when I was obviously in my 20s.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm like, there's just a lot more to consider because I've just come across a lot of time wasters.
Yes.
Because even when I feel like it's going right, I still get the I don't see us compatible as a couple message every time.
Yeah.
And the boys are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's hard to know, isn't it? And sometimes you're getting all the signals that, like, this is a great date, we're compatible. And then they're like, they even confirm to you, like, I'm having a great time.
This happened to me last week.
Yeah.
Like someone messaged me after the date saying, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for your time. Like, I'll talk to you soon. That was the last time I heard from him. So like
Thanks for your time.
I know, I was like, why did you bother to send that message if like it wasn't a vibe? I don't know.
Like it's okay if you're not a match, but at least
fine.
give the right signals depending on how you're feeling, you know what I mean? Like,
so we totally get it.
Because I'm like, nobody wants to be ghosted. The last one that I've probably bring up every episode because I'm still confused. We went to an arcade, we had such a good time, and then it got to the point where she was like, oh, it's 11? She goes, I better go because I don't know if she said work or something, but it's getting late, so I got to go. And then she let me down the best way I've ever been let down before, like with the next day message saying basically the pros about how she enjoyed this part of it, but ultimately didn't see us compatible as a couple. And I'm like, oh, well, I appreciate your honesty and actually like messaging me, but also I'm going to delete every app and I hate it.
I'm going to cry in the shower.
Just,
so she did like a proper pros and cons
feedback.
Almost, yeah. Like, so she didn't give me any cons.
Oh.
It was just, she's like, I like how driven you are, and I had such a really good time, but unfortunately, I just don't see as compatible as a couple. So
Just wasn't quite feeling it or something.
it must have, and I'm like, and even I think it was last, because I was like really trying to just listen to our podcast just to try and almost prepare for this as well. So I had stuff fresh in my mind, and I'm like, I just don't recall anything that went wrong. Oh, I think probably I was maybe a little bit too competitive, because we're at okay. But I did warn her. I said, look, I am a little bit competitive, but
I mean, you're a gamer, so I would expect that.
well, the shooting ones I did destroy her, but that was another story. She was very confident with her Super Mario capabilities, and I sure shown her up. And I was like, so this is how I beat you, all right? Because I know the little tricks. So we had another round, and I almost let her win, but I don't like to lose.
Alrighty.
But you're a loser though.
Oh.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, I am a loser, so I need to take what I can control, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to throw it over to Bro, because otherwise I will talk non-stop.
He loves to talk, eh? That's what I love about
Lucky
this guy.
it's a podcast.
Who knew?
Yeah.
That's what I love about this guy. He loves to talk. So we're going to go straight into the question.
Ooh.
Don't look at me like that.
I feel
Aren't
like,
you going to wine and dine us?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I don't know. You've met this guy, yeah?
He asked for that.
You don't really want to be wined and dined by me. All right. Got so many apps on, got so many apps on this fucking thing, eh?
Too many matches.
Yeah, he's just swiping while he's doing it.
He's like, hang on, I just need to clear it.
It's like, oh, bro's talking. I might as well start swiping.
He's already organised 3 dates by the time we finish.
Good on you.
Yeah. At least let us help in selecting the lucky ladies.
True, maybe we can help you with your profile.
Ooh. Oh,
That'd
we
be
should get a
fun.
look at your profile.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, you guys looking? I think you guys are talking about him, man. I'm just like, yeah, you guys really should. You guys really should do it. Eh?
I need to reinstall everything. I'm like, oh, because after the whole...
What, you legit did delete it all?
Aw.
No.
In all fairness, I have been pretty flat track, like, with everything leading up to Melbourne, trying to make sure that this pod's edited each week, just like all my obligations with... Because I'm not... Yes, I'm a gamer, but I live stream, so I have obligations to try and stream because I have a community and because I have a following, and I need to keep that up to push the podcast out, because a lot of the people or a lot of our listeners are my followers. And then I also have my own Indigenous group that I'm trying to get off the ground as well, that is going to be similar to this. And cool. I can see him looking at me. Are you ready?
I'm just kicking him underneath the table. Yeah. You ready, bro? Okay. So this question is for you. Say a Reddit user has been pestering me to ask.
Oh.
Okay.
So you guys don't have to answer if you don't want to. I really hope you guys do.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
Okay. I'm scared.
Should be.
Yeah.
So what is your kink?
Mm.
And what kink would you consider a red flag if your sex partner sprung it on you?
Oh, good one.
Yeah. Damn. I wish I had something really crazy for you guys. I don't know. Do you have a kink?
Not really. I guess like dominance
Stinky
is
bed.
hot.
Oh my God. We're going straight into that. Yes.
You dirty dog.
Sorry. Someone had to say it. And I knew if I didn't get there first, they would.
Oh man, I was holding it down. I was like, please, no, you can do it.
Now, yeah, okay.
Sorry.
You go first.
No, I mean, mine, I think if anything, I don't really have a kink, but I wouldn't mind, I suppose, like a little bit of like hair pulling, or a bit, like as you were kind of alluding to, a bit of a dominance type thing in a like soft way.
In a
Like, don't hurt
consensual
me. But I suppose like that's kind of the only, like the kinkiest kind of thing I'm into, I suppose. But, you know, I'm open to try different things, but I haven't been like too wild per se thus far.
Yeah, fair enough.
Haven't explored that world.
Not the world you alluded to earlier.
You don't want to explore.
Haven't had 2 people in my tunnel at the same time.
Well,
Wait a minute.
so let's. If you would love to get these inside jokes, make sure you check out the Suddenly Single
Sorry,
podcast.
Yeah, episode 6.
Because you'll be subtly feeling something different. Podcast.
But yes, mine's fairly tame. I don't really have anything too wild. But do you, Max?
Not really. I wish I had like a super interesting answer, but yeah, probably a little bit like dominance, a little bit like BDSM, I guess. Not really something that I seek out, but I often get asked like to be the dominant one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So like that often does have to
Oh,
not
mistress.
quite the whipping, but like
Down, boy.
woof woof. So yeah, I guess like that seems to be something that's quite a common theme within dating.
Like with you, or like guys will be like, I want you to
Yeah, like people try and ask me to do that, and like
walk me around like a dog.
no, not that. But just I guess like take a bit more control in
Yeah.
the bedroom or whatever. Which, you know, sure, sometimes I can like whatever do it, but I don't want to have to do that all the time. And I guess that's probably how the men feel as well. And maybe that's why they're asking, because they don't want to have to always be responsible for doing stuff.
I'm fine with it. What do you mean? What do you mean?
As long as we're doing stuff.
I'm just happy to be involved.
As long as it's consensual, right?
Oh my God.
I guess the other one, I am intrigued about being a third in like a couple. I wouldn't mind trying that. And watch this space, because
Watch the space.
No, she's got something in the works, obviously.
yeah, maybe, yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Plug talk.
Oh, you juicing something up already? More juice.
So she keeps you coming back. Alluding to more juice.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying that. It seems kind of fun. Yeah. What was the second question?
I think there's just one.
No, it was like
The red
Yeah, what
flags.
kink would you consider a red flag
Oh,
if your
yeah.
sex partner sprung it on you?
I think like, oh,
So like if a dude was like, oh, I'd love to give you a golden shower. Like,
yeah.
yeah, nah.
Or like, can you shit in my mouth type thing.
Slow down.
I thought you said you were tame.
You sure you haven't explored that world? Like,
I have a story time. Not my story time,
Okay.
but I was yarning to someone at work, and they were telling me that their nurse friend told me about a patient that came in, and he had glass in his face,
Oh.
which was covered in shit.
What?
Apparently, he was under the table while the second person was shitting on the glass table,
No, what?
and it
And
broke
it smashed.
and was in his face.
Oh my God.
I was like, can I say this on the pod, please? I knew.
Imagine going
That's
into
so-
hospital and explaining that.
well, how heavy was the shit? For
I think maybe
break the glass table, man.
maybe he was, or maybe they were sitting on it.
They must have. Sure.
Yeah.
Which then,
Who the fuck was shitting? King Kong or something?
Shitting antimatter.
Yeah. There's actually like 5 people shooting.
just I feel like the red flags are 100% just like
Yeah.
bodily fluid.
Yeah, because like
because we had someone tell us about their
a spitting one.
spitting. Someone wanted to spit on them. Or you know those like
I'm not
people
into
that I don't know if this is kink or not. Well, yeah, I don't know how this would be involved with your partner as well. But you know, people that like to have sex with dead bodies. That's definitely a red flag. Oh God, obviously.
Necrophilia.
yeah. Or bestiality.
Yeah.
Man, you're really hitting the dark side. Who are you?
I'm just glad it's not me this week.
So
Like
those are red
Jesus.
flags that I
Yeah.
would not. Let me clarify. Not be into those things.
Oh, that's good. That's good you clarified it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're like, wow, it's a skill. Jeez.
You're gonna get a lot of DMs.
Finally, I found my person. Yeah, those are red flags.
Yeah,
would
I
say.
mean anything like too maybe like extremely violent or like just like a bit fucked up where you're kind of like, oh, I guess you can tell when the time comes along, you'd immediately have a gut feeling if that's a right or wrong thing. Yeah.
It's like when they ask you to punch them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
I can see this not working out well for me.
I don't think we're compatible.
Like a punch or a slap?
It was a punch.
They wanted
Did
you
someone
to punch.
ask you to do
And
that?
I'm like, I can't. It's just
What about feet? What if a chick has a hell? Or do you guys have a feet fetish?
feet are weird.
No.
I can say like you have okay feet, but just
Don't want them
Not
Not like a
else.
sexual
Yeah.
thing.
not in a sexual way at all.
Yeah, I have had someone like suck on my toe,
Oh wow.
and I didn't like it.
I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah,
Like I can do a foot massage, but not in a sexual way. You know what I mean? Like, or I don't want your feet anywhere near my junk. All right, get
like a foot job.
No, no foot jobs. Just weird.
Yeah.
I think someone.
and also like, who's got the skills to be doing it well enough?
Plus,
Like
like,
feet, you know.
how is that sexy from a guy's point of view to see like a girl's like,
You can see the
feet
toes,
just
like,
like curly around.
It's kind of like this is the thing.
because
they
you
put their
use like the
feet,
soles, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
explain
inside.
it, bro. Explain it.
So it's like
These are perfectly shaped on there.
so I've seen a few videos, right? But they're only the first 2 seconds before I turn it off. It's like the insides of your feet, like, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
how's that okay?
Plus, I feel like you just do a better job with your hands. Like,
I guess.
they're a bit more like dexterous. Is that the right word? Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like your feet
Opposable
are,
thumbs are cool.
they are cool.
You can do a lot more with them.
Think about it for a second. I'm like,
Are they?
but no, like for me, hands. I'm like, I can do it myself. I want to do other things.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
like, I
get
ain't
ya.
letting your feet come near me
Yeah.
because I barely like. I'm like,
But you
with
can't
my-
do that yourself.
Oh, I can try.
That's
no, actually,
true.
I've already discussed how unflexible I am.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't know if
what
anyone
are you
can
going to say?
really do
I
that.
already tried.
Yeah.
I can't even sit cross-legged. It's like, they ain't getting it.
Yeah. Feet can't. Yeah.
No. So myself, I'm pretty tame. Like I just, even the thought, like when people are like, oh, I like choking, and I'm like, I don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't know my own strengths, and I'm like, I can try,
Yeah.
but I'm like, do I judo you or no?
I have had I've heard of girls that like to legit be like blacked out. So like keep the pressure on until they like actually pass out and then get woken up again. Like that's a bit of a thing.
Well, there's that like the guy from In Excess, how he died from like when people like self
Strangulation?
yeah because I think that heightens the like orgasm or something. I don't know because the lack
I
of
guess it makes you
oxygen.
more sensitive.
Yeah.
Is it erotic asphyxiation or something?
Yeah.
Was he the one that was in the closet that, like how you
Yeah,
tie
he-
yourself up in the closet and then you try and
right.
You like beat them up like that.
And he
Yeah.
died from it, right?
Oh
Yep.
shit.
yeah, pretty
Unlucky.
nasty stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of silly, is it? Like you're hanging yourself.
I know.
Yeah.
And like unintentionally, like you're just trying to have a good time.
I know. Oh.
But I think he was doing drugs and stuff. And so that might be wrong.
I mean,
Fact check
in
that.
he's
excess.
a rock star.
Yeah.
He's a rock star.
Yeah.
I don't like pain. So
Yeah, weird,
when
isn't
it comes to like BDSM, I'm not a huge fan because I don't like being inflicted pain. I'm like, I'm here for a good time, not a pain time, all right?
Yeah.
And
We call people like that vanilla.
I'm pretty vanilla, all right? I'm pretty vanilla.
Vanilla.
I do. This one time. So she's on top, and then all of a sudden, we're having a good time. It's a normal time. And then she reaches over, and I start hearing this like clanging, and I'm like, my eyes are just sheer, like I think everything puckered up. Then I'm like, what is about to happen? And she grabs this full chain and a collar, and I'm like,
What?
Uh-oh.
What? She had it in a side drawer?
it was attached to her bed frame.
Oh, so she had it ready.
And I'm like, and she's like, oh, no, it's for me. I was like, oh. She goes, but you need to pull. And I'm like,
Just teary-eyed pulling.
I've never been more uncomfortable, but I was like,
I mean,
I
look,
can't
if
go
you're
anywhere.
crying when someone says the fetish, it's a red flag.
I was just like,
Like you can stop,
Pineapple. Pineapple.
I was just like, I was like, I don't know if this is good or not. And I'm like,
Are you
just,
having a nice time?
are you okay? Is everything okay? So yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
And it never happened again.
I love how she just has it like permanently set
I
up.
think
just
some people
like,
do like have it tucked under their mattress.
just in case. You never know when you're
Yeah.
going to need to pull out the chain and collar.
Starfish someone.
Well, she had a dog, so I didn't think anything of it. Not like it was just one of those. You just walk in, you see a thing, but it was like a full honey birdette type of thing, and then I would start to see
Honey
a few,
Birdette is amazing though. It's
few
just not
other-
just them.
It is. I mean, what?
What is that?
But yeah, bro. What about you?
Ooh. What isn't? Well, I mean, one of mine is I'm an exhibitionist.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
If you know what an exhibition is.
yeah.
Wait,
Like
is
he
it
likes to like
sacrifice type?
show off.
Sacrifice.
What did you say?
Like when you, like,
Sacrifice?
is that what they are?
It's
Obviously,
like
you're
a
not doing.
Satanist.
Oh,
No, exhibitionist is like where you want to like public sex
It's
kind of
public
thing, right?
sex, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I like doing that, you know,
Ooh.
on a
it's
hiking
fun.
trail.
Oh yeah, was that the craziest?
Was that the
place?
story?
On the hiking trail. Yeah.
No, was it? Or unless you catfished me.
No, but like, yeah.
Oh, you
I'm a
remember?
Was it your podcast as I was listening
Yeah,
to?
Yeah.
no,
Hey, like, wait a minute.
no, it wasn't me.
I've heard this story before.
It's like, hang on a minute.
No, it wasn't me this time.
Okay.
But yeah. I don't know what I think. It's like it's the thought of nearly getting caught.
Yeah.
It's like really exciting.
Yeah.
Bit of a rush.
Actually, I
I
kind of
love
get
that
that.
shit.
As long as it's not too public. Like I've done it in like a pub toilet kind of before.
Oh yeah.
Hey yo.
Nah, that don't count.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, someone could walk in at any moment.
No. But you are
So-
closed behind.
they'll
door.
just like hear noise and be like, "Probably taking a shit."
Okay, I have done it on a park bench
No,
before.
they're like someone's fucking in the toilet.
Yeah.
You've done it on a park bench.
Yeah.
There you go.
The day I met Walter was that Bogan Bingo.
Yeah.
So have you ever been to Bogan Bingo before?
No.
So eventually they do a thing where they're like, all right, trying to see who's the most bogan and stuff. They're like, all right, so where's the most bogan place you've had sex before? And I hadn't told my ex at this time but I'd gone up and they're like, oh, where's the, and I'm like,
You're on stage.
yeah, I'm on stage because everyone's on stage. And I'm like, oh, on the DNA tower
Okay.
at the top, in Kings Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
we're
yeah.
up the top.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I mean, it was just,
What a view.
Yeah.
That's kind of
That's
nice.
it was,
Nice view.
no, like,
Yeah.
so we were very lucky because we almost got caught.
Oh really?
Yeah. So as we were walking down, people were walking up and I was like,
Oh.
Ooh, that was a bit clue.
I hope you didn't
Too
touch
close.
anything. It's full of DNA. Nah, I'm just-
I had sex on top of a mountain when I was in Switzerland. That was nice.
That's fun.
Like a lookout, like the most beautiful lookout ever. It was beautiful. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah? So like, oh yeah, this is a very good view.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not looking back at you. I'm looking at the mountains.
like, what are these hikers doing?
Yeah, that was fun.
I think he's doing the Heimlich.
And yeah, same thing. People arrived maybe 5 minutes later, so get
Close call.
lucky.
I was like, I think it was another place. No, like it wasn't a mountain, but I was in Santorini, but like everything was open and people where the apartments were, or villas, people could actually physically walk past and we just had everything open because we had the view.
Yeah.
And well, it's Europe, so people do not care.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I feel like the locals be like, oh yeah, another tourist is doing it with the windows open.
Classic.
Like, hey, Ramon, come and look at this. It's those fucking Australians. But a red flag. Yeah, it would have to be like someone wanting like shit on me. It's just like,
That wouldn't turn you on?
the full Cleveland
Like-
steamer.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm into like some really nasty shit, but like my list is pretty long. But that's just where I draw the line. It's like some shit like
Yeah.
even like blood play.
Oh no.
You ever
Oh.
blood play?
No.
It's
You play with blood.
Yeah.
kind of like when a girl's on a period, you know.
Sure.
Okay, so you don't like cut someone.
No. That's some satanic shit.
Blood play sounds pretty demonic.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, like even there, nah.
Yeah.
Not with it.
Like if I'm cringing at some of these shit, then I'm just like, yeah, that's real bad.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, I could probably say I can reluctantly say this story. So the whole, the one and only time I've ever hooked up with someone that was in an open relationship, because I used to see them, and then they just ghosted me after like a month. They just disappeared. We talked all the time, we went out all the time, and then they just disappeared. And I was like, where the hell did you die?
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, finally messaged me back saying, oh, I thought I'd actually let you know I'm back with my ex. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for telling me. I thought you died.
Yeah.
And then I saw her a couple of months later, and then also we're at the festival, and she kissed me. I'm like, aren't you in a relationship? She's like, oh, we're in an open relationship. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, yeah. And then we organized to catch up again. And then as it was leading up, she's like, oh, because it's an open relationship, there's rules. And I'm like, okay.
I think that's pretty standard.
Which is fine, but this is my first time experience. And
Okay.
so like I wasn't really thinking about anything like this. And then so right leading up to it, she's like, so he needs to be involved somehow. And I'm like, oh, all right, you need to tell me right now, because he wasn't there.
Yeah, like lay the rules out.
And it was, I was like,
You
the
don't
whole
want to
time.
get there and know that, find
Oh,
out.
no, sorry, that's rule 47.
Yeah. And basically the way that he had to be involved was we had to film it. And I was like, okay. By then, my brain wasn't thinking. I was using my other brain.
Yeah.
So then didn't film myself, but had to film her doing everything.
Oh, so your
like from
face
your
wasn't
point of
in
view.
So
it.
not my
good.
face, anything like that, just
Your bits and pieces.
my bits and pieces. And
Boring.
then, well, yeah.
Boring.
And
I would have been
like-
like,
But I was, by then I was already
I'm doing your lady, bro.
I was just like, I was so weirded out by the thing, because I was like, I've never done this before. And then afterwards, the biggest P&C moment just like hit me, and I'm like, I just got to get out of here. I just feel dirty.
yeah, right.
And I was like, so this was fun, but I got to go. My friend like literally lived around the corner, so I went around there and I knocked on his door. He's like, oh, you're back. And I was just like, I need a shower, man.
Yeah. And a hug.
That's it.
I've seen some shit.
And but I told my friend at work what happened, and then he told everybody that I had to wear the guy's clothes. So and he was a triple XL.
Did you actually have to wear that?
No, but my friend told everybody that this had happened.
That's
and I was
quite
like,
a hectic rumor. Like,
yeah.
creative. It's
I was like,
creative, yeah.
I was like, look, I'll allow that. Eh?
Yeah, it's really
That's
funny.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my only experience with it, and I'm like, I don't think this is not really my thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it must get complicated. It's like open relationships. I've never done it before, but I imagine, how do you stop your emotions like messing things up?
Yeah, it must take like a very certain personality type, I guess, and a lot of
Definitely.
trust between the two people.
I don't like sharing, so
Neither.
Fair
I
enough.
know. Well, and then you like become insecure too. Like, oh, that girl's really hot that you're sleeping with.
I think that would be part of it. Like, you'd have to be able to bring your insecurity to your partner and like them not blow up about it or.
And it's like, I feel like it'd be hard to get like what if you do meet someone that you actually genuinely really connect with, and you're like, actually, this person's really fun and they're good at sex, and then you're like, oh, but like, I don't know, just get messy maybe.
because I know someone that is married, but also has a long-time boyfriend, and I'm pretty sure they all live together.
Hectic.
And it's a whole thing, and I'm like, what? But they're like best mates.
Yeah. I guess people in relationships cheat when they find someone that they like more. So in this way, it's just like within the relationship.
Yeah, but imagine if you're like one of the guys, you have an argument with the girl, and then she's like, I'm going to see
I'm going over to
Jeff.
Yeah.
Who's Jeff? My name is Jeff.
Like that kind
Well,
of thing
you'd
would
have
be
to,
annoying. Like,
Surely, like, if she's doing that, it's not going to work anyway, probably.
yeah.
You know, I guess, like, you'd have to have a pretty high level of maturity to navigate a relationship like that.
So this whole dynamic's been going on for years.
Yeah, I mean, they've
Yeah.
obviously
And it
nailed
works for them.
Yeah.
It works for them. So.
Oh,
And
it
I
works
mean,
for people.
a lot of
like-
people it works for them. Like, but yeah, I think I would struggle a lot. With
I think
it.
it'd be
Yeah,
practice as
could you
well.
do it?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't. I at this point in time, I would say no. I mean, I'm sure you could get yourself to a mental state of practicing being, you know, I don't know. If you're in a healthy mind and like comfortable within yourself as well, I feel like that would be easier. But I like monogamy, like personally. At least, you know, that's what I like so far. So
Yeah, I don't think so.
So far.
well, I mean,
Sort of like so far.
you never say
What?
never, but definitely
Yeah.
it's my inclination. You know, like I definitely like being with one person at a time.
I don't know, just like the thought of the person I'm with being with someone else just like makes me feel a bit sick. So it would be quite hard to make that like a normal part of life. But then I guess you get to go out and enjoy yourself. So it's like there is a decent trade-off there. But I don't think I could do it, no.
Would the trade-off be worth it though? That's the thing.
Well, I don't know. The problem with the open thing is like once you've dabbled, there's no going back. So it's like it's a very big risk in your relationship to try it because
Well, I think you can recover, and maybe you get it out of your system, and
yeah,
be
but
like,
once you cross that line, it's pretty hard like to come back from.
especially if someone, I don't know, like what if you're not like pulling as much as your partner's pulling, and you're just kind of like, oh. So what are you doing? She's like, I'm out on another day.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
There is a podcast I listened to a bit about that actually. Like her Instagram is CF Kate, and they're in an open relationship, and they talk all about this. And I think their podcast is called Gone Rogue. And yeah, they discuss like they're both on it, and they always talk about like if someone's feeling insecure, or if someone's pulling more, or like obviously for women it's tricky too because we've got this whole like, okay, I'm on my period like 1 week out of a month, which means I'm out of action for that time, and he's not. So I'm sitting at home with like a hot water bottle, and he's out fucking someone else. So it's like it's quite a different thing between men and women to navigate, and it's also like birth control and stuff. Like, imagine if your partner accidentally got someone else pregnant when you were playing, or like,
the STDs. Like one of the really nice things about being in a relationship is you're like, great, I don't have to worry about
I
like
have to get
if you
checks.
both have been checked and you're like, cool, we're in the clear, we can freely have sex and not have to worry about the
yeah,
potential diseases that we might get.
that's true. I think for a lot of couples who are open, usually protection is one of the rules.
Yeah, but I mean, you even have this rule for yourself, and then, you know, sometimes one thing leads to another, and you're like, oh.
But I guess that's the difference of like then you're betraying the relationship.
Yeah, I suppose you've got another person to
Yeah.
think of.
So if you are just being relaxed about it sometimes, you're not really doing good things for your relationship, I guess. I don't know.
Would you guys ever do it?
I struggle to message to people. It's
He
exhausting.
struggles to have a party of two, let alone three.
I struggle to party of one. I tire myself out. But no, like I've tried to date multiple people, and I'm like, I couldn't even think about trying to cross it over, and it's just, it's more.
Gets really tricky, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't no juggler, right? I can't even juggle tennis balls, right?
Yeah.
Let alone women.
How's your one's dating as you're going?
How's our dating going?
Yeah, how's your one's dating going?
I
I feel like Max's would be just full of fun. But
yeah, do
Mine's
yours
just,
first.
well, I'm kind of seeing someone like, I mean, nothing official. So I became single in August, got to have a little bit of fun on the apps. I hadn't used them before. And so, yeah, explored being single for a bit. But yeah, I kind of met someone that I'm quite into. And so far, so good. And again, like I don't really like to see multiple people, and though we're not official, it's kind of nice to not be kind of like going on heaps of dates with different people.
Yeah,
It's
she
nice to
lucked
have-
out real early.
but like, so you've smalled your pool down to the
To
one
one.
dude.
Yes.
Is he doing the same?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
So it's a little
Is that
more
what he said?
exclusive.
No, that's what he. Yeah, I'm like you better.
He's like, yes.
Well, that's what he said. Actually, from the start, he was like, oh, he only likes to talk to like one girl at a time, typically. And it's like, oh, interesting. Like putting all your eggs in the one basket kind of thing.
I'm going on dates.
I was like, yeah, I was kind of new to dating, and I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I need to see what's out there before I like decide on anybody. So he was. I mean, again, as far as he said, I believe him, but who knows?
Yeah. I don't want to say, bro, you lying. But he could be genuine. I don't know. He could be.
He's done a lot of sweet things and stuff
Yeah.
for Beth since the start. So yeah, I reckon
Tell us more.
It's a thing.
Cute.
Well, he bought like we were pretty like early into seeing each other, and on Valentine's Day he bought me like an orchid, yeah, in a pot, and that was really cute because I didn't expect anything. Because I was like I thought it was even weird that we would see, not weird, but I was like, oh, we're gonna hang out on Valentine's Day. That's a bit cute. And then he got me that as well. I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. He cooks for me all the time. He packs my like lunch for school.
He made her a little with like a popper, like a little juice box.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, stop.
He buys me my favorite chocolate all the time. He cooks for me in general all the time and buys all the food and stuff. Like
He's setting the bar pretty high.
yeah, very generous.
Where's he from?
England, actually.
So where's the English one? What's the English one?
She's got a type.
Passport, bro. Passport sisters.
Yeah.
But Max, enough of my boring dating life. Tell us about
Sounds
yours.
like you didn't really date.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't really date.
Yeah.
I live for your stories, Max.
Yeah, we all do. I'm not even gonna lie. We like texting each other at the same time. Like, does she really?
I would love to be a fly on that wall.
So, like I said, the first episode we listened to after meeting yous,
Yeah.
we both put it on. Like, we both drove home and then literally were just messaging each other. Or no, it was voice messages.
Yeah, it was
we
voice.
were voice. We don't often, but we were voice messaging saying, "Bro, were you yelling at the radio as well? Why are you doing this? Red flags."
Yeah.
No, we're living for it. Yeah,
Great.
makes me feel okay.
It makes those bad dates worth it. That you have people that like wake up in the morning being like, Max has got a story for us.
She's
today."
got something funny to say.
At least my dating life isn't as bad as that.
Oh my god, is
No.
that who I've become?
No,
It's like, ooh, new episode. Wonder what Max has got on.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah, at the moment, nothing really going on. I'd been on like 2 dates with someone, and then I got friend zoned actually like 2 days ago. So
Why? What
what
happened?
he's got some personal stuff going on, and he basically just wasn't he doesn't feel ready for like a long relationship or like a serious relationship. And he asked if I would be interested in being casual, and I just kind of respectfully said no, because I've had plenty of casual in my life, and like to be fair, if I want casual, I can get it. I can find it. It's not that difficult to do.
Sorry.
So where are you looking? Asking for a friend. A friend is me.
Let me just pull up the map, bro. Where are you looking at?
I guess it's so.
It's kind of dangerous though, being casual though, because you can be casual and some people will.
I really
end up
like
attaching.
I like this person more than a casual thing. So I don't want to like. I would rather pause it here and then potentially have it restart later than just have it casual and kind of ruin it, taper it out, you know? So, yeah, we're going to remain friends and see how that goes. So, yeah, nothing else too exciting is going on, I guess.
What about you guys? What's your
what's happening?
current situations?
I've been out a couple times with my friends. So like we're friends that we because I'm still like I
We
don't
can
know
hear
what
the
I want.
tears. We can hear the tears.
I don't know what I want right now because I have so much on and I'm not usually this busy, but because everything's kind of happening at once with the expos and this group and that group and the pod and this, I'm like, trying to figure out how to fit time in for people,
Yeah.
which is,
Can definitely relate to that. Yeah.
and I'm like, this is new for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
It's good to be busy with like projects that you're passionate about, though.
Yeah, I guess like in 5 years, what do you want your life to look like? Because if you want a partner, then I guess that should be part of the priority.
Very true, which I do, but also if what I'm doing right now works, it will set me up for 5 years.
Yeah, which is also good.
So, because what was it? I think during COVID or leading up to COVID, I was able to basically just go, I've had enough of dating because I'm sick of going out in the 2, 3, 4 hour dates, having such a good time, and then going, we're not compatible.
Yeah.
The very next day. Or like after they'll be like, yep, keen to go out again. And then like, oh, actually. And I'm like, why would you waste my time the whole, like, you know what I mean? At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
And then I was like, you know what? I need me time because I'm starting to not be in love with myself anymore.
Yeah.
And I took pretty much a year off of dating and stuff like this.
Oh,
like I
nice.
think I went out maybe once or twice sort of at the end of each year, like at the beginning and start. But that's when I started streaming and everything. And I was like, I just want to invest time in something I want to enjoy. And now it's kind of getting to the point where it's actually starting to happen. And
Okay.
now I'm like, I'm ready to date again, but also I'm like, I'm still enjoying my time.
Yeah.
Well, it's important to like don't let go of your time
Yeah.
too, because I feel like so many people when they go into a relationship they just like forget themselves and they forget their friends, and it's
So easy to do.
a slippery slope, and then that's why so many relationships end too, is because like you don't really know who you are or like what you need because you're just so focused on this other person. So like good on you for spending the time that you need. Because I think like self-improvement is massive. Like I don't want someone who has just jumped relationship to relationship. Like you have to have some time on your own, I think, to grow.
Definitely.
Because it was one of my biggest relationships where we weren't even in the country together half the time because I met her here, but then she had to go back to England.
Yeah.
And then because I was just absolutely in love with this girl that by the time she ended it, I basically fell into the arms of someone else because that person was putting the pieces back together,
Yeah.
but wrong.
Yeah.
So then I thought I was into this one, and then that's when it really like just blew up, and then trying
The old
to
rebound, hey?
which then ended up in a whole saga.
I didn't even call it a rebound. I don't even know what you would call
it's
that.
basically just completely redefined who I was in not a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm finally back to where I was before her. So I'm like actually happy with myself again, like, and with my mental health and everything. And it's because of what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So it's like now I need to find someone that actually fits into my world without
Taking it away or anything.
taking their world away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the hard part because my world is weird.
There's only very few that would, I reckon, be able to fit into that kind of world. Anyway.
Who? Tell me now.
Where are they?
Yeah, just thinking about it. Like
Who are you hiding?
your life. I'm just thinking, you'd have to be a very unique person, to be honest.
Because you'd have to be comfortable with sort of this stuff or because I have such a bigger presence online. It's trying to help them get into that as well, because if I focus too much away from it, it kind of takes away from everything. So I'm like trying to just...
It's a balancing act. And I think the right person will fit. And like there's plenty of like, I don't know, social like media people that have partners that are still in their lives and maybe less present like on the camera or on the mic or whatever, but still like, I don't know, you can work it out. But obviously it can be a bit scary because you've obviously developed these awesome projects and found yourself again and you're like, I don't want to lose that or give it away to somebody. So you have to be careful, I suppose, when you're...
So my dating app profiles, I catered it for that, but I made them really bad because I'm like, if you can... But like, so hear me
Interesting
out.
tactic. Yeah.
So, but in the sense of like really gaming related type of thing, because I'm
Okay.
like, I want to see who I attract.
Like, we're the nerds.
Yeah.
Basically. So like, because you don't have to be in my world, but you have to be able to accept it, because that was the one thing with my ex was she knew I was a gamer, was okay with it, and then as soon as we were living together, was no longer okay with it.
Yeah.
Tried to change you after she knew what you were like interested in.
Yeah. It,
Oh, she did a lot more than
it was like, something resonated with me that you said as an ick or a red flag of calling people crazy. I will never, ever call my ex crazy. Like, I think that she took it as, I said, why are you acting crazy? Which is also not okay, which I realized. And I will never, ever call her crazy because that's just her mental health and stuff. And I know that she can't control that sort of emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was ultimately how that happened. The whole I'm playing online games with these guys and they're screaming at me while I'm playing after I was like, I just wanted this one thing all week. This was my one thing. I don't know if you've seen, it's pretty viral TikTok right now of he's playing his PlayStation or something and she just walks up and turns the whole thing off and he's just like, it's my one thing. I was like, that literally is, this guy must have looked into my life and stole that from me. So I'm like, I just said one thing all week. I hadn't played anything for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I said, I'm playing games with the boys. We're going to be only like 2 hours in. Right? Yeah. You've been on all night. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like 8 o'clock. We were screaming, trying to throw things. And then got to the point where she was trying to turn the TV off. And then I grabbed some tape and I put it over the little things. She couldn't turn it off anymore. That made her more mad. And then, it resorted to her ripping cords out of the wall and stuff. And
Damn.
it kind of like real escalated from there to them guys trying to call me to see if I was still alive.
Yeah, right.
Because all we could hear, like, with our headsets, all we hear is like the screaming, the yelling, and all that, and then just dead silent. And
Oh,
we're like,
God. He's been killed.
Yeah, we're like, we're like talking to each other. Should we give him a call? Let's call him. Let's see if he's all right.
All right. Because I haven't told many people this because it's so after that, that's like I've never raised my voice or anything like that. And just after that, I was just completely defeated to the point where I'm like, I know it's done.
Yeah.
And that's when I was just like, I wanted one thing. And you couldn't even give me that. I said, because the biggest thing she always used to say if we'd fight, because I couldn't breathe half the time without her on my case, was you just need to love me more.
Right.
Now, if you're engaged to someone, I don't know how you can love them more.
Yeah.
And that was the
People have different ideas of what love looks like.
Well, that's so broad. Like, be specific. What do you need more of? Like, be specific.
She can never put her finger on it. I don't know if it's because when we were in the dating phase, I think my gestures were a lot more grander compared to when we're living together, and now I'm full-time almost supporting and everything else, and then I'd get to the point where I'd burn out.
Yeah.
And when I burnt out, that's when a lot of the fights were happening because she's like, you need to do more. And I'm like, I'm just tired.
Do more.
I can't do. The screaming was going on and I was like, I'd had enough to the point. And then she's like, you're not sleeping in here. And I was like, I don't want to sleep. And then she threw a pillow at me. And I'm like, good throw, dickhead. So I was completely done by this point. And then I think I called my mum and I was like, it's done, whatever else. And I think that's when I'm like, she started ripping cords out of the wall. She's acting crazy. And then she didn't hear that. She heard I called her crazy. So it escalated again from there to I think she grabbed my car keys to the point where I've gone, what are you doing? And as I've gone to grab the car keys, she just went, I feel like I saw steam come out of her. She was like, how dare you? You said you never would. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, how dare you hit me? And I'm like, what? And then she started throwing haymakers at me. And then she clocked me a couple times in the arm. I had like a massive bruise on my arm. And I was just like, nah. And then she called the cops on me.
Oh,
and they rocked up. Not many people know the story, so this is... So they rocked up and I was calm. And I'm like, look, obviously, I don't know how these things go, but you can see that I'm calm. Will comply with anything you say, but you need to go check her because I didn't touch her. So they did that, and whatever else, but they pretty much kicked me out. I said, before you kick me out, I'm just going to take photos of everything because I feel like everything's going to be destroyed if you don't let me. And obviously, because I love my TV so much and my PlayStation, I'm like, I'm just going to take this.
Yeah.
And then legit the next day at work, I got a call from the cop shop saying you need to come in, and I said, I don't finish work till this time. They're like, that's fine. They slapped me with a family VRO, and I was like, I didn't touch it though. The cops they're like, just whatever. I peeled it. I even went to court over it and got it taken off.
Yeah.
And that was probably the hardest day of my life trying to defend myself from like 9 to 5. It was so mentally exhausting.
Gosh.
To even the judge found that I didn't touch her or anything like that. But it would never be that version of events from her point of view. But because she did have a lot of mental health issues, I said, I'll never call her crazy. And I ultimately know it wasn't her, because that's just like with people with BPD, they just can't like not use their brain, but it's just their brain just takes over a lot. So they can't really control what they're doing. And I did learn that after being with her, because, you know, going to therapy or anything like, or a psychologist and stuff, and trying to get a better grasp on what was happening in the relationship really helped me get out of it. But it's also changed who I am.
Yeah.
And it's just, it was such a big part of me now, that trying to actually get into a relationship or give people my time again, and kind of scared it's going to go down the bad path again. But just knowing that I came out of that is something that I'm sort of proud of. But I'm like, now I just need to figure out how to go from here, because I was almost a shell of who I was after that, wasn't I?
How can you not
would
be?
Yeah. That's extreme.
And now when, like, I'll talk to my friends I haven't seen in ages, and I'm like, I had like such crippling social anxiety over it, because that was the one that I was saying, she was tracking me on Snapchat maps going, where are you? I'm like, I'm at netball. Yeah, so from netball to home, which is like a 10-minute drive, I said, of course I'm not going to update, because but it got to that point where she was so solely relying on me that I just didn't. After that, I was like, I don't know what to do with myself, because I don't have someone so codependent on me. And so I'm like, I just need someone with friends now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my rabbit hole.
Well, at least like now you know some of the signs, and like obviously that was like probably a huge learning experience for you as well, of like, you know, what to not look for in a partner, and what is important to you and what you won't compromise on.
And like, love blinds you.
It does.
That's the reality. Like, there may have been some red flags that you might see now if it's a future relationship, but at the time it's like,
you don't know. And sometimes you're too far in, and then the red flags start to pop up, and you're like, it's hard to kind of get out of situations sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well,
Hopefully that doesn't happen to you again.
I have a better grasp of mental health now after that. So, or like, you know, within myself or anything like that. But I'm just like, whew.
That's full on.
So.
Oh, yeah, you came out the other side.
I can't
So
remember what I'm talking about now. Just gotta, like, you have to.
We're all
stop
just
me.
standing like so deep into this.
You have to, like, if you don't stop me, I just go down rabbit holes.
no, it's an interesting story.
So back to dating.
So yeah, you don't know what you're going to do about this current, or is it you're pausing it?
No, so the chemistry's there, the attraction's there, but I'm just like, I don't know if I have the time. So it's kind of, I think I might have to put a pin in it, because I'm like, I just don't know if I can, or it's not that I don't want to, but I don't know if I can, or if I want to. That's where I'm at. I'm a bit confused about the whole.
Well, you can always pick it up. Like, if you pause it now before it gets too far, then you might ruin any future chances. Whereas if it's still early and like everything's amicable, you can just be like, look, it's a timing thing.
Or just take it really slow, and if she's the right person, that she will understand that.
So true. I think you let me keep talking, so you don't have to talk about your dating life.
Come on.
See, it's a common theme.
He does it. He's silent assassinate.
Yeah.
I'm just like slowly. Mine. Oh, Jesus. Well, I mean, as in the past episodes, I say, like, you know, I'm a walking red flag. I'll keep saying I'm a walking red flag, but in reality, I'm basically a checkered flag. Like, I'm done. Because, you know, same with you, man. I give out all my energy to get nothing in return. And it, like,
it's exhausting dating.
But it sort of, like, not to make myself sound like a monster, it sort of turns me dark. Like, as if, well, you know, I mean, with my past traumas, no matter how much positivity I try and give out, I get negative back. Then I should just start walking this line of negative energy. So I guess like, I don't want to say that I'm some kind of slut or anything, but it's like, there's no point giving somebody my whole life if no one's really going to try and work it with me.
Reciprocate, yeah.
But then at the same time, I kind of contradict myself with that because I did have the best person, like my green flag.
Yeah, you talked about that in an episode too,
Like,
eh?
she was legit the best. I couldn't put a red flag to her at all, and nothing. I mean, sure, she had her own insecurities and stuff, and me being me want to, reassure her, like, there's nothing to be worried about or anything like that.
Yeah. What happened? Why are you not with your green flag?
Oh, that's kind of a rabbit hole I don't really want to jump down.
Fair enough, fair enough.
We call them the great white buffaloes.
Okay.
Great white buffaloes. Great white buffaloes.
Well, at least you know they exist and they're out there.
Yeah.
That's got to give you a bit of hope.
I was going to say, like, it kicks you down again and again and again and again and again. And, like, sometimes, you just want to be so, like, negative and, like, who gives a fuck anymore?
Yeah, like towards the end, especially if you're going on quite a few dates and you just get like, you're like, I don't know, the vibe before the date, you're like, here we go again. You go to the date, you're like, bored.
I think I
like,
said to
you know
Beth the
what,
other day, like, I just want to go out with him so we can already cancel each other out. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
can
Just
we
like
just
the
get this done?
pessimistic.
Like, yeah.
But I think that's why it's really
you
good.
got to hang in there.
And also to have like little breaks, like
Yeah.
just reset, because one, it is expensive. Well, it's expensive, but it's time consuming and exhausting. So sometimes you want to just like have a pause, get re-energized about it again, and then you're kind of excited to be back on the platforms or dating again because it's you've had a little breather
for a while.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. Listen to some, like, I listen to so many like self-improvement podcasts or like ones from psychologists, or started new little hobbies, like met new people, went out to new kinds of places, and like it does re-energize you, even if it's exhausting. I understand the exhausting part.
I mean, like, I'm not a bad person. Like, I'm
No.
a good guy. It's just, I want that good side of me to be with somebody that's worth it.
yeah.
But I guess if you go into it with a full-on skeptical nature, then you might be attracting that as well.
Well, because the thing is, like I'm an overthinker, is the thing, and I feel like overthinking has destroyed my happiness.
It'll do that.
Yeah, it did. Like, me overthinking had destroyed my happiness, but at the same time, I was never wrong. That's the shit part about it.
But maybe you self-fulfilled that. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you kind of like
Like what you put out there comes back to you.
yeah, and maybe it wouldn't have actualized as it did if you hadn't have thought it into not like manifestation, but maybe you're kind of help creating this. Like I don't know what the situation is talking about, but it definitely can. Or maybe you just end up seeing the thing that you're thinking about all the time because you're thinking about it all the time. And then you're kind of being like, oh yeah, I was right. Whereas if you were thinking only good things or positive, maybe you would see it differently. I don't know.
But also sometimes dating's just shit.
So yeah,
It is.
and sometimes people are shit. You know, like,
yeah. Like, yeah.
I mean, I self-sabotage all the time
yeah, that's the thing too.
because I feel like I would rather hurt myself than have somebody else hurt me.
Yeah, you like get to the punch first, you know. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably what I'm doing right
Classic
now.
coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like it.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm still.
You're like, oh, something good. Let's push it
something's
away.
good. You know,
Yeah.
kind of what I'm looking for and everything. But I'm still like, I'm just gonna go do my stuff. Hopefully you'll still be there. If not, I'll just get back on the horse.
Yeah. And it's hard to know, right? It's hard to know if I'm like, am I doing a good thing for myself or am I, self-sabotaging or being scared because of my past trauma and I'm pushing something that could be actually really good and what I've been exactly looking for. But yeah, it's hard to know what because you can't discern it yourself. Like it's subconscious most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely want a long-term thing
Mm.
because I mean, like as you say, I can get casual.
Yeah.
I can get casual, but
Yeah.
like,
Asking for a friend.
I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah, like I want a long time thing because shit, I'm 30.
Mm.
I don't want to be playing these games for forever.
One thing that did change for me a little bit is when I decided that I wanted something long term, like I changed my profile a little bit, just even like the photos or like the prompts and stuff. Like I put a bit more thought into it, and since then the matches have been a bit more like genuine. There's less like, hey, what a fuck kind of thing. You up?
I'm like,
Hey, you up? Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe have a look at what you're presenting to the dating world. We can also help you. We would love to help you.
Hey, I'm actually fine. I'm actually fine.
I guess it's more like if you're attracting those people that not the best and you keep getting down and it's like this spiral, shake it up, try different things.
True.
Meet people in different places.
I mean, I do prefer like a face-to-face meeting. Like I do prefer like going out to meet people,
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it, to like
opposed to
organically meet
like
someone?
being behind a fucking screen.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, photos from like 10 years ago.
Yeah. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you just go out to meet somebody, then you know exactly because they're right there.
And you can see the actual physical and like connection in person. Whether like you kind of jump a step almost like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It would be fun to go to like a speed dating event. Or
Yeah,
something
we were
like that.
gonna look at those to do like I don't know, or like a singles party type thing.
Yeah. So if you guys hear of anything like that, like let's
Yeah,
do it.
We should
had
all
one
go.
They had one a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did they? Have you been?
No, I didn't go. But I was told about it. I was
Have you
like,
been to? Has either of you been to any or?
no.
to a singles party?
Yeah, something like that.
I think it would be fun.
It'd be interesting.
And it'd be nice to like, meet people in person. So straight away you have an idea of what they're like.
Yeah.
If you
Would that
get
be
along.
something you'd be interested in, brother?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's take
Bring a little
pod,
mic with.
Let's take the
with
pod
us.
to the road.
Yeah, and then it's a great story to talk about. Of being like, if anyone else out there is like interested in doing something like that, we can be like, yeah, that's what it's like.
Yeah.
Don't
We were
do
going to
it.
do a whole ep on that. Yeah.
But if anyone finds a singles event, let us know.
That's 100%. All right. So after we do the questions and everything, we like to try and go into what we call the loser of the week. Now, we are never prepared for this because it's usually we're trying to figure out what's happening. Generally, it's me.
Most of the times it's you.
But is there anything that's happened to you over the last week that's been a real fat loser?
Yeah, I got friend zoned.
Max is the loser.
We found the loser of the week.
Jeez, that was quick.
I mean, yeah.
I have a pretty loser story.
Oh, she's the loser.
Oh, okay.
So I went out with our little sister and her boyfriend. We were out for drinks, drinking margaritas, having a fat time. We were in Freo and we were at like Darling. I don't know if you guys have ever been there.
It's really dark and weird.
Yeah.
I walked in there and I'm like,
It's actually a good first date spot.
Yeah. It was kind of like I'd
so
never
you
been
can't see them.
before.
Blind date. It's a blind date.
Don't bring it on if they're allergic to peanuts. Because they're covered.
Yeah, there's heaps of peanuts.
Yeah,
in
like
it.
all over the
So
floor
random.
and stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, we were there having drinks. That place closed, and we just kind of wandered down to the front of Freo, or where the park is there. I don't know, like where the windmill kind of thing is. Or what do you call
The windmill. Oh, okay. There's a windmill there.
And we decided to go on the park, the playground, and you know those like spider webby climby things. We were climbing up those and just being idiots essentially. And I was like halfway up, and I missed one of the ropes where you stand on, and like fell through the spider webby thing. My leg got caught, which was kind of good because it prevented me from falling onto the ground, but it also, I was hanging in the spider webby thing. My dress was like coming up, and my sister's boyfriend was sitting like down on the ground being like, oh my God, like laughing, but also trying to help me. And my younger sister was like spidering down the side of it. She's like, I'm coming.
She said to me, like, she's got this image of you just hanging by one leg and your dress is over your head. And you're just like, ah!
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's really hard to help yourself in that
It's
situation too, because like,
you don't want to unhook because then you fall.
and your whole weight is like on your leg that's wedged in between this rope, so it's kind of like hard to free. Anyway, That was
Too
pretty
funny.
losery.
I feel like that's a
You're just like, you just
very,
took it. You're just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to hang. Yeah.
Yeah, I essentially did. I was kind of drunk at the time. I was like, what is happening?
No, we love that because, well, I love it because it's not me. So I was almost 2 weeks in a row, and then I just made one up, so I got out of that. Taken 3, so it was pretty good. Well, no, we love that. So and then
Basically, 2 losers then, eh?
No, I'm good. Wait, what?
2 losers.
We may as well take one for the team while we're here, you know.
Yeah.
They're a collective, actually.
Yeah.
They're a collective.
Collective
So,
losers.
2 for 1 deal.
Suddenly losers.
Suddenly losers. That should be at the title of our collab.
Yeah.
Single losers plus Walter.
Single losers. That's even worse.
Or
isn't it?
singles table.
Ooh.
Hey, shush.
Okay.
Totally single.
Shush.
You got to stop me.
Okay.
I go down weird paths. So then we move on to winner of the week or W of the week. Unless you have anything stand out, I would love to be able to name both of yous W of the week for making this happen and just being able to hopefully not make me so suddenly single. Otherwise,
Ain't you already suddenly single?
Look, we will do everything we can to bring you love, okay?
Yeah.
will you
Thanks
find it?
for that.
From me?
Maybe not everything.
You said everything. You said everything.
Bring
Hold
it
it.
to you.
I just want, I just want people to find it for me. I'm gonna just lay in bed and be like, "Have you found me love yet?
I'll just
Love.
wait here.
Where are you?"
Bring some snacks.
No, W of the week is definitely Suddenly Single podcast
Oh, thanks, guys.
Cheers. We love that.
because we're slowly pushing it out there. So hopefully more people will help me find love.
Yeah, if you get more people on it, surely many hands make like work. Is that?
Yeah. It is a thing.
Bring Josh a fish. I will fish for days. No. Bring him out a fish. Yeah, or bring it. No, I need a fishing rod.
Yeah. Teach a man to fish,
Or-
and then he'll feed
Himself.
forever.
Bring me a chick magnet. No, we love that. All right, so bro does have some questions.
Oh, from...
Yeah, we'll quickly bang this one out.
Yeah. Which one? Yeah, so many, yeah.
I was,
Is this what people ask?
yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By people.
Well, people ask
Person.
us things too, you know.
No, the only popular one.
Yeah. Mhm.
Stop.
We may be the losers, but we're the cool losers. Okay. We'll start with this one. So a friend of ours asked, what ick or red flag would you put up with if they checked all the criteria?
Out of the ones we listed, I guess.
To make it
Just-
easy, yes.
I'm trying to think back to what icks and stuff we said. I
guess I'd accept Crocs.
You allow them?
Only in defense mode.
How can you not accept Crocs? Then?
No, it wasn't really
I
my
do not
ick, but I was
You don't accept Crocs?
They're pretty
No.
icky.
They're very icky.
I mean, I feel like they're funky little thing. I wouldn't be wearing them.
no.
You'd
Gum
definitely
boots and
do.
boots for me, but you know.
I could see you wearing Crocs. Unironically. And I'd hate it.
I'm just gonna buy a pair just for you.
That's a hard one to think. Because it feels like so long ago already.
I feel like I dated someone who chewed kind of with their mouth open or loudly.
Yeah.
And it really bothered me, but I also really liked them. So I kind of
it's
just
fine.
like, yeah, it became white noise eventually. And you're like, So that is kind of annoying.
Fuck that.
Yeah. It is a bit of an ick.
I don't even care if they tick the whole criteria.
They're out.
Chewing it? Nah.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
So yeah, that's something I accepted in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I could accept the boardies longer than the knees, but I'll be burning those fucking things.
Yeah.
I'll
Boardies?
Just keep cutting them
Have you-
shorter each time.
Yeah,
just
like every
slowly.
time they come out of the wash, they're just slightly
No,
shorter.
they're the same
Keep throwing them
length.
in
What are you
the,
talking
in the
about?
dryer. Just continue to shrink them.
Exactly.
So bodies below the knees are an ick, which 100% they are.
100%.
Let me
You
see
know, like when
let
they're
me see
really
them
long
knees.
ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been like jean shorts and in like gym shorts and
Yeah,
stuff.
short longs or long shorts.
Yeah, like
Just shorts.
yeah, below the knees for me, unless I'm like going swimming and then it's like real hidey tidy.
Oh,
Rugby
get the
shorts.
quads out.
Oh wow, that's quite the eyebrow move.
Was it?
Your eyebrow. That was like, I don't think I can do that. Yeah. Well, Max has got an active eyebrow.
An active one.
Yeah, you're always like,
Just need them both going, you know.
Oh wow.
I can't do that.
Dwayne,
It's all the reactions that we do.
Yeah.
So our
I'm a-
body's trained and all these things.
Yeah.
He does his hands. I do my eyebrows.
Yeah.
if you handcuffed me, I wouldn't be able to talk.
Oh.
That's not very vanilla of you.
He would just sit there and take it.
I bitches now.
We've changed you.
His idea was to bring these gills on you.
Bad idea.
Okay. And another one he asked is, how childish is too childish for an adult male to then not be attractive in your eyes?
Oh, that's a very fine line. Because if they're like just too immature about a subject or something, it's a big turn off.
But I do like I love a funny guy. And
Yeah.
I
If they can be silly and stuff, that's great.
Yeah,
But
I
there's
like a
a
bit
certain
of
thing where
silliness.
it's like smart humor and just like, are you 12?
yeah, it's a fine line.
It's a fine line.
It's hard to give I think people know. They should know.
And if you kind of cross into that line, it's like, I don't know, it's not great. It's not great.
As long as you don't keep going back there. Yeah, as long as like you
But
can
usually, like, it will. Like, I don't know, I've really learnt to, like, believe what people show you, especially in the first month of dating. Because sometimes you put your, like, rose glasses on, you're like, oh, I just like them. So, you know, you brush all these things off, and then months later, you're like, this is so annoying. But they've been doing it from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, why didn't I just recognize that at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
what about something along the lines like, with our hobbies? Like gaming or like...
Personally,
Yeah, well, you keep pointing at me with certain things. I want to point at you now.
look, I'm not really into gaming because that's not something that I enjoy. And like, if I'm home with the person, the thought of them like sitting in another room in the dark, just like playing and talking with the, I don't know. It just
Make it seem like they're talking to themselves.
I'm coming. He's on me. There's two dudes on me right now.
like, yeah, I don't know. It's not something that I personally like, but I've never been into video games and stuff, so like it's never been a thing for me.
And I also think like I think it's great when people have hobbies.
Yeah.
But it's also like you want to find a right balance, and I don't want my partner to ever sacrifice things that they're passionate about. And even if I'm not into them, as long as it's like not taking over everything, and like at least maybe it's like, okay, well, if this is your night for gaming, or you have a few certain like hours during the day or week or whatever that you want to game, cool. But like, let's designate time where we can do us stuff too.
Yeah.
So we're not just living separate lives in the same house. Like,
I guess with the gaming thing is typically it's quite an addictive thing to do. So like, I don't know. I felt like it.
Is it, bro?
Yeah.
Is it addictive?
Like I have a whole schedule.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, or like-
I stream on certain nights, and then I have to allocate days off. And
yeah.
But I mean, like you go in for an hour, and next thing it's been 4.
100%.
Like-
That's light
Oh.
work. Light work.
it's been
nothing.
7 days.
Well, yeah, it's like I think it just gets unchecked really easy, and then I get that, like, but yeah, I think if you're in a relationship, that could probably be a bit harmful. But yeah, as far as the silliness and stuff goes, like we talk so much shit. Like silliness is attractive, but there is a fine line of like if it's immaturity or if it's like just having banter and having a good personality. Does that answer your question?
In a roundabout way.
That'll do.
I mean, if you
that'll
think of
do.
specific examples, we can say, but it's
It's fine.
yeah.
Another one. Got another one.
All right.
So if you two woke up in the morning
Yes.
as a man,
Oh yeah.
Oh, good one.
besides the most basic thing that every female says when they say if they woke up as a man, what would you do?
Helicopter.
I was just about to say that.
That basic. Every woman says that. Yeah, fiddling around with myself. But like, what would you do?
I don't know. I think
Be fun to have sex as a man.
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
See
See
what
if it's
that's
any
like.
like different, like if the orgasm's better or
Yeah, because I reckon it just would feel different.
it would
It's a
feel
totally
different.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume, it would feel different.
Yeah.
Yeah, different pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe walk around without a shirt on.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Or just only a shirt.
Never do that. With your little pee-pee hanging out. I know.
Then you get a helicopter.
So terrible.
Oh yeah, you'd be immediately being like, is it big? Is it like
What did I get?
How would you feel if you like woke up and be like, oh,
damn it?
You're like, oh, well, it's not about how big it is, it's how you use
yeah,
it.
at least I know what girls like.
Yeah, true.
It's not the size of the waves, it's the motion of the ocean.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
I don't know. It'd be cool to hang out with the lads. I don't know. Do whatever lads do.
Oh, that's a red flag. Remember?
Yeah.
Isn't it a red flag?
But not like bro lads.
we
culture.
prefer boys, losers,
Yeah.
fellow gentlemen.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Just to be able to like go to the beach without a shirt on would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
Look,
still
you
do
still
that.
can do that.
You can still do that.
Not really.
We ain't going to judge
Yeah,
you.
yeah. The beach I went to.
Yeah, depending on where I am, I could actually get like arrested. You know what I mean? Like women's chests are not okay to be seen, but men's are because our nipples are so different.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's something that I would try and embrace that freedom while I had it. There you go.
Love that. But you would get W of the week.
Once
What,
again.
if I went to the beach topless?
Yes.
Yeah, once again. I mean, I heard you like to
Noted.
swim in the ocean anyway, so.
I do like to swim.
Yeah, that was
Alright.
from the old buddy bro.
Yeah, so thank you, Ray. We appreciate all your feedback. All right, well, I think that we really, really appreciate you coming on and shooting the yarns and everything. We hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, it was
We
great.
did. Thanks for having us. It was so fun.
I believe that's a wrap.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Get out
What-
of it. What?
Wait, I want to.
What?
Because we're collabing with them, we're
Ah.
going to change the old outro.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
So we're just basically going to say, get out of here, you single losers. Nothing to see here, guys.
Do we have to
Did
do
we
that?
just get ditched?